Hello everyone, I'm Wilson. I'm IEI PM in charge of the Influx PC. Today I want to introduce our new products. First, I want to introduce our Intel solutions. We include the Skylake, Whiskey Lake, Upper Lake, Coffee Lake, and the preview cards in medical panel PC. And other parts will include the RISC solutions, like the motherboards and AutoCAD HMI series, and finally is the Moda series. And here is the Intel IoT G platform roadmap. And currently we have the solution is the Coffee Lake in the H series, and the Coffee Lake in the U series. And the next years, Intel will launch the Whiskey Lake. Over there is the Q2 next year. And for the Whiskey Lake, we have the planning for 5 products already. First one is the 3.5 inch and 4 inch motherboards. And for the panel PC, we had the 550 to the 21.5 inch panel PC. And the second part is the Intel solution is the Upper Lake low power SoC solution. Here is our roadmap. First is the industrial motherboards. We have the mini IPX solutions. And the embedded board, we have 3.5 inches and EPIC and Pixel IPX series. And for embedded systems, we have the IVS series for in-vehicle virtual market. And the DRAM PC, and then the new product series is the ultra compact size bus PC. We call the ITG 100. And the first one introduced the Hyper. Hyper is our Pico ITX platform, and they integrate the M.2 expansion slot. And A key of theirs is support the Wi-Fi Bluetooth, and B key is support 3G, 4G, and storage. And it can be used as access control screen or bundles intercom system. And the second one is the DRPC 130. It's the DRAM's mounting panel piece, mounting embedded system. They integrate the 4 COM ports of layers and 4 USB 3.0 and 2 CAN bus isolated. And displays, we have the 2 HDMI and large DC input. We support the 12 volts to the 12 and 24 volts. And here's the upstream temperatures. It support the -20 to the 60 degree. And here is our ITG 100. It's the new product line, and it has a basket. It's a pound size, has a basically I/O ports and support wide range operating temperatures, and -20 to the 60. And we also have the multi-layer design. Customer can, based on their demands, they need to more I/O ports, or they need to more storage like the 2.5 inch SSD. And we have the choice of theirs. Customer can choose the choice that they need and to expand like the DIR, COM port, or USB 2.0. Or they can select the hard base of theirs and to support a 2.5 inch SSD. And now I want to introduce our Coffee Lake solution. It's the high performance solutions. For the pictures of the overviews, it is an 8th generation CPU, and improved the 15% performance than the previous CPU. And we have to integrate the M.2 slot. M.2 slot is the A key for the Wi-Fi Bluetooth, M key for the storage, and B key for storage. And we also have integrated the PCIe slot to get the more flexible. And for the Coffee Lake Intel CPU is integrated the USB 3.10 is the Gen 2. It can provide the 10 gigabit speed. And here is our Coffee Lake roadmap. First is a single board computer. A computer is the IPC MG 1.3. And the industrial motherboards, we have ATX, Mini ITX, and the Micro ATX. And in the embedded boards, we have EPAC. And for the embedded systems, we have a new product, is our Flex series. And for a tank, we have next generation use the Coffee Lake, and now we're planning. First is the IMBA Q370. I integrated 6 SATA ports to support the RAID 0, 1, 5, and 10. And integrate the USB 3.1 Gen 2 to get a 10 gigabit speed. And also have the multiple expansion slot. They have the 2 PCIe by 16 slot with the by 8 signal, and 4 PCIe by 4 slot. And also have 2 PCIe slot can be plugged in the add-on cards. And Kino DH310. D means is the support the DC jack, so it can support the DC input over there, and they support the dual display ports, HDMI, and also we integrate the here is the internal DP ports for the option. And here is the PCIe Q370, and this one also supports the 6 SATA ports and M.2 B key, M key of theirs, and also have the dual channels member RAM slot of there. And finally, I want to introduce the Flex BX200. It's our new product line. It's the bus PC, and we also have the monitor kit. It supports from the 15 to the 24-inch monitor. It's the integrated industrial grade, and based on the Intel Mino toolkits, they can use that in the warehouse, traffic, or the product line. And we can see the hardware features of theirs, and they support 250 or 350 ATX power supply, and up to the 64 gigabytes memory, and 4 hot swap, hard bay over layers, and 4 low profile PCIe slots. And also have the rich I/O interface. And what kind of the cards we can provide it from the IEI or QNAP? First is the storage cards or the GPOE. GPOE cards can be the GPOE as I connect the IP camera, or the Mustang F100 or B100 is the hardware accelerating card, or the NVIDIA graphic cards, or those two is the NVIDIA graphic cards. And its mini PCI slot is support 2 PCI by 16 with the by 8 signal, and 2 PCI by 4 slot. And we will introduce our previous cards is the PoE card. GPOE we have the 4-port and 2-port. 2-port we support totally have the 30 watts per port, and for the 4-port PoE cards, we totally support 60 watts. And with the standard mode, it just have the support compared with the AF, so it can provide the 15.4 watt per port. And the dual port mode is complete with the AT mode, so it can provide the 30 watt per pole, and also support the jumbo frame 9 gigabytes. And this one is our medical panel PC. The medical cards computing is it has the breakfast is like they have the trade of the EMR and improve the efficiency and decrease the human's error. And here is the roadmap of theirs. We have already solutions the POC system, and POC, a new product is our new product line is the POCM. That means mobile. Why we call mobile? Because it supports 3 hot swap battery. So you can put in the battery and carry on and go around the whole hospital. And we designed the 22 and 24 Full HD panel PC. And the project caps, touch panels, and it has a 3 swap battery. And for the traditional medical cards, they need to use the big one, the battery, and on the bottom side. But use the POCM, you have the 3 batteries on the machines, so they can reduce the cycle weights. And for the charging of the batteries, we designed the POCM docking, and it's a 6-bit. So user can charge the battery right in the systems, and they can charge the battery. And we also design the API. AP is mean the battery management, and it can install in the POCM. And the user, like the nurse, they use the medical cards, and they can monitor the 3 battery, and its status, our battery capacity, or temperatures, they can remote it and to see when they need to change the battery. And for the IT members, they can use that battery management remote AP, and he can switch remote. We can remote all of the POC or medical cards in the hospital. And second part, we need to introduce the risk solutions. It's our new risk products. So far, we have the motherboards, computer is the hyper platforms. And for in vehicles, we have the Apple cards. And HMI systems, we have the 3 ones IOBU. And finally, we have Moda series is the Moda 550A. For the risk solutions, we will introduce the Rockchip RK3399. It's integrated the Cortex A72. They have 2 ones and 4 Cortex A53. And he have the increase the 55 than the previous product, and they support the forecast decoding cores and dual USB supports and HDMI 2.0A with the HDCP 2.2. And for the IEI Rockchip, it support the system is Android 7.1 and down to 16.004. And for our IEI products, we also have ready for support the API and SDK. You can make it easier to deploy your own applications on the Android and Linux environment. And first, I want to introduce our motherboards. Motherboards is the Hypers RK39. We have the mini PCIe of there to expand the customers, to expand the slot like the Wi-Fi or 3G, 4G. And they have the to USB and the Ethernet up there and HDMI. And it can be used in a kiosk or digital signage post system. And for the alpha core and HDMI system series, alpha core is our panel piece. And in his vertical market is the embed. It can collect the track or car's status of the engines like via the OPT2, and it can pass it to the website via the 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi. And the user can monitor the whole systems to use the Moda 550 or Alpha app to remote the whole car system, the status. And it can be used in a bus or bus station or retail car system or taxi. And here is the pictures of the Alpha cars. It's the NH Sunlight Reliable System LCD with the PCAP touch panel. And built-in a GPS, OBD2 or J1939. And it OS support the Android 7.1 or 1 to 1604. And next generation, next product is IOBU application. IOBU application, you can use the front-door intercom system for nurse house, emergency panels, indoor monitoring, or education monitor, or face media screen. First, I want to introduce the IOBU 207 AR. R means this IO is on the rear side, and it has the 2 hotkeys and 4 indicator LED that can be defined by user via our SDK, and also have the SOS emergency kit, and it can be used to find an alarm or light for main the emergency status. And this one is IOBU 210 AR. It's the 10.1-inch LCD panel, and with the touch panels, and they have the camera of theirs. It supports 13 megapixel. And here is the IOs, and also have integrated the COM ports, GPIO, and USB 2.0, 3.0. And also have the important thing is they support PoE input. And also have the traditional DC jack of theirs. So user can, based on his demand, to select the power input. And this one is our IOBU's final product is the 210 AD. D means the IO is on the bottom size, and its panel is 10.1-inch LCD and PCAP touch panels, and he supports integrate the RFID COM port, something like that. And final one, I want to introduce our Moda series. Here's our Moda series features. You can use it in the medical cares, retail marketing, or military, police stations, fire relief. Here is the appearance of theirs. They support a 1 and 2 dB core of theirs, and here is the 13 megapixel camera of theirs and multiple I/O. And it can be used in marketing or the nurse or something like that. And here is my new products introduced. And thank you for your listening. Thank you.